Today I'm making flat some of my paintings. What happens is I don't like doing it, so I wait until I have a few of them to do them all at the same time. Here I have already got some of them wet. This one has already one layer of water, and you see how it's curving up a little bit, and the bumps are starting to disappear. This one is still dry, and you can see how many bumps are in it. And I use usually a large brush. I didn't want to, use my best brush, so I'm using a cheap one. So this one is still very bumpy. As you can see, it had one layer of water, but it had so many bumps into it that it's not going away. So I need to do at least another 2 layers on it. So I just simply keep going, one more layer. I don't know if you can appreciate how shiny it is, how much water I put on it, but at least with the brush, I have control of where the water goes, and I can just distribute that water evenly. I definitely prefer the brush to a sponge, because the sponge seems to be, you might not be able to release the water so evenly, and excess water might drip underneath the painting. So that's the reason for me to have a towel underneath, so any spills get caught by the towel and don't slip underneath the painting itself. I have never had any problems with that. The only one time I had an issue was because the paper was defective and it had an area where the sizing was missing and a strange spot appeared in my sky. But it was just the paper's fault, not this technique. Like I said, it has worked for me for about 25 years with no accidents. Other people prefer to use a iron. They iron their paintings. To me, I don't like it. I think the excess heat might do something to the paper. Also, they tend to curl. When they dry completely, they kind of buckle. They're nice and flat, but they buckle. So when you frame them, I'm afraid they're going to pop out again. They put them inside a pillowcase, and then they use a steam iron, and they iron them in every possible direction of the fibers. Okay, diagonals in both directions. And then once it is completely flat, they take it out of there, and they usually put it underneath a board with books on top to make it more flat. I still there's plenty of bumps there, so see how this kind of waves. So I think I'm gonna give another layer before I actually put it on the board to staple. It's limp, but I think it could use one more layer. This was a kind of an extreme case of buckles. Others don't have as many, so you might not have to do more than 2 layers of water. This has had already 4 layers because it had very extreme bumps. Okay, so this one, it has almost no bumps left, so that's perfect now. It's still slightly moist, so actually got my hands slightly wet. So I'm going to take the board. I'm going to put it on top of the board. It's supposed to be clean. Wish. And while it's in the board, I'm going to grab a paper towel and squeeze out the excess moisture. Be careful not to rip the paper, obviously. Oopsie. That helps also to stretch the paper even more. Okay, and I'm just going to start stapling it. Center first, every 2 inches. stretch as much as you can.